My wife insisted her older daughter move in permanently. I refused to let my kids endure her abuse and disrespect, so I filed for divorce. Now my ex is shocked, but I won't sacrifice my children to fix hers. Hello Reddit I+ here. I chose my kids over my marriage. My name's Daniel Foster. I'm 44, and up until a few months ago, I thought I had marriage figured out. I'd lost my first wife, Melissa, to cancer 7 years ago, and raising our 2 kids, Evan, 15, and Lily, 13, had been my life's focus. Then I met Claire. Claire was a widow with 3 kids, Mason, 10, Emma, 7, and her oldest, Harper, 16, from a relationship before her late husband. Harper didn't live with us full-time. She split her time with her dad in another state. Honestly, that worked in our favor. The younger kids got along like siblings, and Harper's rare visits were tolerable. In the beginning, we were the picture of a blended family: Friday night pizza, Minecraft marathons, and movie nights that ended with a pile of kids asleep on the couch. But it didn't stay that way. It started small. A $20 bill missing from my glove box, half a bag of Lily's favorite chocolates gone, probably misplaced, Claire would say. Then family members began hinting. Perfume disappearing after Harper visited, a bracelet gone from Claire's aunt's dresser. Harper had this way of making everything a battle. Ask her to rinse a plate, she'd smirk, roll her eyes and drag herself to the sink like I'd asked her to scrub floors with a toothbrush. She'd openly mock my son for enjoying science, call Lily's art baby drawings, and ignore every house rule. I even tried giving her chances. Paid work like washing the car or organizing the garage so she could earn her own money. She'd do it once, then tell Claire I was using her. When she was at her dad's, life was peaceful. The younger kids played, my children relaxed, and no one hid their belongings. When she visited, Evan locked his door. Lily kept her art supplies in my dresser. Even Emma, who adored everyone, once whispered to me that she hid her diary because Harper likes reading other people's secrets. A year into our marriage, Harper's dad took a job out of state, and the court allowed her to move with him. Visits were mandated, but every single one followed the same pattern. She arrived, tension spiked, things disappeared, she left, and calm returned. I kept telling Claire we had a problem. She kept saying it was teenage behavior, and that Harper just needed time. Then, this summer, during one of Harper's visits, Claire dropped a bomb. We were in the kitchen. I'd just come in from mowing the lawn. She was beaming like she'd won the lottery. Harper wants to live with us full-time, she said. Her dad's traveling for work, and she'd rather be here than alone all the time. She'd already said yes. Already started talking about rearranging bedrooms. Already decided. I stood there, replaying every stolen item, every cutting remark. Every night my kids stayed in their rooms to avoid her. We need to slow down, I told her. We can't bring her here full-time without addressing the issues we've had. Claire waved it off. It'll be better when she's here full-time. She won't feel like a visitor anymore. I'd heard her relatives say otherwise. She's been like this since she was 7. Good luck fixing that now. I sat Evan and Lily down that night. How would you feel if Harper lived here all the time? Evan didn't even hesitate. She stole my switch. Lily's answer was quieter but firmer. I don't feel safe with her here. That was all I needed to hear. I told Claire flat out, if Harper moves in, I'm moving out with my kids. She accused me of choosing my kids over hers. I corrected her. I'm choosing my kids over someone who has disrespected them for years. 2 weeks later, I'd signed a lease for a small apartment. I didn't say a word until the keys were in my hand. Then I told her. She called me selfish, said I was abandoning Mason and Emma. I promised I'd still be in their lives, but I wasn't sacrificing my kids' safety for a teenager who refused to change. We moved. The first night, Evan left his headphones on his desk without fear. Lily unpacked her paints and left them out for the first time in years. It wasn't big, but it was peaceful. Claire tried to get me back, calls, texts, even showing up at my door, but not once did she acknowledge Harper's behavior. It was always about keeping the family together and loving all kids equally. Her family called too. Her sister told me, you can't end a marriage over a teenager's attitude. I told her it wasn't attitude. It was theft, disrespect, and years of making my children feel unsafe. My family? 100% behind me. My dad even said, if you'd stayed, we'd have had to talk about why you let your kids live like that. Now, Harper lives with Claire full-time. I've heard through the grapevine that Mason and Emma are missing toys and clothes. Not my problem anymore. I still see them, go to their games, take them out, but it's away from Harper. My kids are thriving. They invite friends over. They laugh louder. They sleep better. The marriage is over. No regrets. If anything, I wish I'd left sooner. Because here's the truth. Your duty as a parent isn't to keep a marriage alive. It's to keep your kids safe. And I did exactly that. At first, I thought the quiet was permanent. 3 weeks after moving, I'd just gotten home from work when my phone buzzed. Claire's name. I almost ignored it, but then I saw the text. Mason asked why you don't love them anymore. We need to talk. I called her, thinking maybe she'd finally be ready to discuss real solutions for the kids' sake. But when she answered, her tone was already defensive. Daniel, this isn't working. You're punishing all of us because you don't like Harper. I took a breath. Claire, I don't not like Harper. I don't like her behavior. I've been saying this for years. Nothing has changed. She tried the guilt trip. Again, you're leaving them just like their fathers did. No, I said. I'm protecting my kids. That's something their fathers didn't do. That ended the call. The following week, she showed up unannounced at my apartment. Lily was in the kitchen baking cookies, Evan on the couch with his laptop. Claire walked in like she still lived there, heading straight for the kids. Hey guys, guess what? Harper's doing better. She's thinking about apologizing. Neither of them even looked up. I escorted her outside before the conversation could turn into another scene. Claire, I said, don't do that here. Don't ambush my kids with this fantasy that Harper will suddenly change. Her eyes narrowed. You just want them to hate her. No, I said. They came to their own conclusions after living through it. She left without saying goodbye. 2 months into the separation, the rumors started. People I barely spoke to were approaching me with sympathetic smiles, asking if, maybe, I'd been too harsh. One neighbor said, I miss seeing all the kids riding bikes together. I almost laughed. My kids hadn't ridden bikes with Harper in years. She'd mocked them until they stopped. Even a friend from my softball team pulled me aside after practice. Kids grow out of this stuff, Dan. I told him, this isn't about growing out of it. It's about years of my kids feeling unsafe in their own home. That's not something I gamble with. He didn't bring it up again. Then came the kicker. One night, Mason called me from his mom's phone. His voice was small. Can we come over this weekend? Just me and Emma? Of course, I said. When they showed up, Mason told me Harper had been taking their things again. Small stuff, like phone chargers, gift cards, Emma's favorite sweater. And when they told their mom, she accused them of trying to turn me against Harper. The guilt I'd been carrying for leaving them behind hit me all over again. But I also knew I couldn't fix what Claire refused to see. By the time the divorce papers were signed, I'd stopped hoping for a change. Claire still acted like the only problem was me, not loving all the kids equally. Harper never acknowledged anything. And my kids? They were thriving. Evan started inviting friends over regularly. Lily was filling sketchbooks again. Her paints spread across her desk without fear they'd vanish. One night, as we sat around the table eating spaghetti, Evan said, I don't miss the big house at all. Me neither, Lily agreed. Feels like home here. And in that moment, I realized something. The house, the marriage, the blended family dream. It was all secondary. What mattered was right there at that table. I didn't lose a family. I saved one.